Hi. Hey. Hello. Hey there. Cupcake! Rah! Hi there, Resident Playing Card here. So as some of you may or may not know, I do this whole thing called poetry, where I use words and I put them in order, and I write, and they come out, and sometimes awesome, sometimes not so much. Really sort of depends, kind of changes depending on what you're looking for, but yeah, I do that, and occasionally I perform them. Recently I was asked to perform at an event on my university campus about virginity and the concept of it and my experience with it, and so I wrote a piece for that, and I guess here is a copy of my performance. Lead on. Temporary title for a piece about virginity. I didn't bother to change the title for this piece, since it seemed appropriate for this crowd. Let me confess. When I was a teenager, I thought virginity was this big thing, that I had to lose it or give it up. Hormones, sex, now, do it. Fuck me. It's that oh so familiar story of adolescent misconception. I told myself if I hadn't had sex by the time I was 18, I would start to actively seek out comforts beyond those provided by my hand. It's silly now looking back at that promise, made in the darkest hours of night. I didn't end up keeping it. Instead, I gave up my virginity a lot sooner. Not to some cute guy I probably wouldn't remember beyond a name, a vague face, and a notch on my metaphorical bedpost. And definitely not to a girl in an ill attempt to prove my highly questionable heterosexuality. Instead of saving my virginity, I gave myself to love. I gave myself to the endless world of other things, to school, to art, to song and dance. When I finally started being sexually active, plunging in to break the ice one hot summer night deep in the canyon between two ridges on the mountains my heart sometimes calls home, and I tumbled through my first few partners, I realized that virginity is as temporary as the closet I came flaming out of. But like that closet, virginity is an epistemological construct that never quite goes away. With each new encounter, I find myself confronting the same kinds of knobs and bells and holes as that first time. All that, are you okay with me putting this here, or should we try a different position? And could I get a little lube before you do that? Every time is a first time if you treat it like the final frontier. I didn't bother to change the title for this piece because virginity is temporary. It's the delicate, dirty laundry no one dares take the time to wash for fear of it breaking between their hands. And even if you waited, virginity is as temporary as the phases of the moon. It comes and goes with every threshold of sexual journey. Virginity, like sexuality, is fluid, malleable, built to suit the needs we as a society put on it. Virginity is temporary. Virginity is temporary. Okay, so I'll be the first to admit that's not my favorite piece I've ever performed. I don't think it's the best written, but I think it kind of gets the point across. This whole idea of virginity that we're dealing with is this really complicated structure that deals with sex, which for a lot of people can be really complicated or really simple. It deals with our society and how our society deals with sex, which almost always really complicated. And so part of the reason we had this event was to open dialogue about that. To, allow people to talk about it and, express their feelings on it. I mean, some people perfectly fine waiting until marriage and find that really empowering. Other people, in some places can't get married because they're gay or lesbian or, whatever. And so marriage isn't an option and they can't wait. Some people, they don't want to wait. They want to have sex now and they enjoy it, and more power to them.
And so the whole concept of virginity is this really constricting thing that tells people you have to be this way. And what we were trying to do with this event was tell people, no, you don't have to be that way. Virginity is however you define it, and you should treat it as such. So hope you enjoyed. I might post more poetry later. I will probably post more poetry later. And yeah, thanks for watching, and see you next time.